This is absolutely horrible and it won't stop. And here comes the rain again for the 5th time today. The 5th torrential downpour. Everything is dying. What began as one of the best starts to my spring garden has ended in disaster. An abnormally dry early spring had my garden looking absolutely beautiful, with tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, and melons exploding in the warm, dry conditions, totally free from disease. Everything had so much promise, but then everything fell apart in May. Today is June 14th. In the last 42 days, which is since May 4th, we have accumulated 12.45 inches of rain. 7.24 inches of that rainfall fell since May 27th, with 12 out of our last 19 days being rain days, and 5 out of our last 6 days having regular torrential downpours with absolutely crushing humidity. The air is so thick out here right now, it is hard to breathe. What was a picture-perfect garden 3 weeks ago has totally collapsed. I already had to rip out 6 tomato plants from wilt disease, and what plants remain are getting very ill. The hybrid varieties with robust disease packages are clearly faring a lot better. Side by side, you can see the differences are absolutely dramatic. But even some of the very disease-resistant F1 hybrids are starting to succumb to the disease pressure, and many of them are beginning to contract various wilt diseases. My determinate tomato varieties are doing the best by far. They are so much stronger and more robust than even the most disease-resistant indeterminates, it isn't even comparable. However, what was once a year full of hope and promise is on its way to being one of the earliest ending seasons that I have ever experienced. Going from one of the most beautiful gardens I have ever grown to one of the worst in the span of only about 3 weeks is such a soul-crushing defeat that it makes me want to just quit. My garden is dying and I want to give up. We are having one of the most wet, disgusting Mays and Junes I have ever experienced here in the Southeast, but I know I'm not alone. I know many gardeners in New England had a cool, wet spring and are way behind. I know gardeners in the Midwest are struggling this year due to late freezes that ate away at their already relatively short growing seasons. Florida is having one of the driest starts to the year ever. Meanwhile, fortunate folks in Texas and the desert Southwest were blessed with a cooler, more forgiving start to spring, so it's nice to see at least someone got a good roll of the dice this year. Unfortunately, when we garden outdoors exposed to the elements, every year is just a roll of the dice. Unless you have the good fortune to garden in a high tunnel or a real greenhouse where you can keep the weather outside where it belongs, you never know what you're going to get. Some years, the bad weather doesn't hit until late, so we can get good harvests in the meantime. But this year, it seems like the bad weather is front-loaded for most of us. So what do we do when this happens? We just have to dig in our heels and push forward. While this year has been depressing, it isn't over. I just placed a fresh seed order for my fall garden, and in that order, I added a bunch of super disease-resistant determinate tomatoes since they seem to be doing the best for me this year. I'm already preparing for the next wave of zucchini, tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers because while much of this spring crop may have busted, I can still prepare for a fall when thunderstorm activity stops. If your crops aren't looking good right now, start some fresh seed now and prepare for a second wave. If there's one thing to say about all this rain, at least it's making the zucchini grow out of control, I would say. Batter up. Small victories. So if you are feeling defeated because things haven't gone according to plan, I'm making this video to let you know that you are not alone. Don't give up. Press on. Life is short. We are only given a handful of summers in this life. Don't let this one pass you by. It's not too late to make the best of it. Many of us feel this way right now, even those of us that have been doing this for decades, myself included. You're in good company. Just remember, you only fail at this gardening thing if you quit. Press on through this slump, start some more seeds for a succession crop, or get new transplants if your current crop is a bust. You'll be happy you did by the end of summer. I truly hope you all take this message to heart. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.